Hello, everyone, and welcome to the live stream. I hope that you are all doing well. Welcome, welcome. So, tonight we are doing another episode of Vara After Dark. Tonight we will be discussing a couple of rumors again, some gaming, some movies. Tonight we will be discussing Sonic and its success. I have not really discussed Sonic too much, but it is a movie that a lot of people have seen, a lot of people like, and it's getting quite a lot of media attention, mainly because it has completely toppled over Birds of Prey. And some people are very angry at that, of course a woman power movie did not do as well as a blue hedgehog. We will also be discussing some new rumors on Loki, on the new Marvel Loki show. There are some rumors as to who the main villain will be and some of the characters that will be in the show, which I am actually very excited for Loki and the Marvel shows in general. I am a fan of seeing the shows like the Marvel shows. Now, that's not to say that all of them will be good and that I'm a fan of all of the movies, but I do have hope, especially where there are these characters that I find and a lot of other people find to be very interesting that we don't get to see a lot. Now, let's look at Loki, for example. He's a great character and he has gotten quite a lot of time, on screen, but seeing a show based around him and really having him as the main character sounds absolutely amazing, to me at least. We will also be discussing Funimation. I've discussed Funimation a couple of times over the past few weeks. They have really kind of gone off the deep end. They have censored a lot of content, removed a lot of content, given into a lot of online outrage, and that has happened again where they have removed very light sexual humor from one of the new shows. We will also be discussing Snack World. Snack World comes out on the Nintendo Switch, next month? Yeah, I think it's next month. And they did actually censor some content in it, and of course, they just had to throw in some references about Trump. A lot of them. Not one or two. So those are the topics we will be discussing tonight. But before we get into the topics, I did want to talk to you all for a couple of minutes. Welcome to the live stream, everyone. I hope that you guys are doing well. Hello, Alpha, Grizzly, Star Wars, Sonic. I hope you guys are doing good. TARDIS, you've been here too. Did someone say Sonic? Yes. I have not discussed Sonic too much on the channel, but I did, now that it's succeeded, and now that, a lot of people have seen it, I do want to give my opinions on it, and also discuss some interesting articles that have come out of it. Snacks? Yum. Yeah, we love snacks around here. We love snacks. Maybe a world of snacks. Loki does that shit all the time. Well, Loki does a lot of stuff, yeah. Wouldn't Loki be the main villain of the show Loki? Okay, so yes. But Loki is... I think that they... Okay, so... I don't know what they're doing with Loki right now, but it sounds like they're going to kind of go that anti-superhero, but not a villain Loki, which sounds kind of interesting. I'm tempted. I love Loki. Whether he's on the good side or the bad side, I'll root for him. But there are some rumors as to who will be showing up in the Loki show, and it does kind of sound that they're saying, even though Loki's the villain, he's not going to be the villain. We don't really know, but there are some rumors, which also sound legitimate. I don't like to cover rumors that sound very out there and maybe not that believable, because there are those online, but I like to cover the more believable rumors, and things that do tie into the MCU currently. Loki is a prick, but Loki is eyebrow wiggle, a prick. So chaotic neutral. I don't even know if Loki's really chaotic neutral, because he does lean more on, the evil side. Chaotic neutral may be a good alignment for him. An anti-hero, I don't know what they're gonna call Loki. I feel like lately we've seen a lot of characters and even games have, these awkward taglines, so I can't wait to see what they're going to call Loki. Can't wait. It's going to be great. Thanos will be the villain of Loki's show. Thanos is not part of the show as far as we know currently. That would be cool though. That would be cool. We'll probably see some like characters tie in maybe from the movies, and we might see some scenes from the movies. Kind of as like reference points to where the show is taking place, but I don't think that Josh Brolin is cast in the show currently. The guy's the direct cause of Ragnarok starting. Definitely a bad guy. Definitely a bad guy, but sometimes a good guy. How about that? Sounds good. Alright, you guys, so I think that we will start with Sonic the Hedgehog first. Sonic has released, it has been out for quite a few days. We are past the launch weekend, and it has done great. I'm not sure how many of you in chat have seen Sonic the Hedgehog, if you guys enjoyed it, or if you're waiting to see it, but I wanted to read through this Forbes article. The success of the new Sonic the Hedgehog movie shows that Hollywood needs to listen to gamers. Now, just with this initial statement, I don't necessarily know if Hollywood should listen to gamers specifically. I think they mean more so that companies and Hollywood need to listen to fans. When it comes to a lot of movies lately, they keep trying to revive and resurrect all of these older franchises. Let's look at like Star Trek, Terminator. I mean, geez Louise. They are trying to resurrect everything that they can because they don't know what to create, because they don't have any creative bones in their body. So I think that they maybe shouldn't say gamers, but fans. Is it so hard to call people fans of things? Is fans like a trigger word now? If you hear the word fans, you get triggered. After all of the drama surrounding the new live-action Sonic the Hedgehog movie, it has gone on to have one of the best opening weekends at the box office for a gaming adaptation. According to Variety, Sonic the Hedgehog made $57 million at the US box office during its launch weekend for a global total of $100 million. That beats Detective Pikachu, that made $54 million in its opening weekend last year and was the previous record holder. Now, I just want to say, that is such a small gap. I know that, millions of dollars is a lot of money. They make it sound like it's not a lot, but $3 million being off that little isn't like a record breaking. It's not like Sonic the Hedgehog made $100 million, in the US, and Detective Pikachu made $54 million. So it's not that large of a gap, but congratulations to the team that created Sonic the Hedgehog. I know that the creative process for it was not easy, due to the initial version of Sonic. People really didn't like it, which we will read in a minute, but a lot of people didn't like it, so they did have to throw in $5 million more to fix how Sonic looked. I don't know why in the first place they would make Sonic look the way that they did, but that was their choice, and it does seem to have paid off for them. While the reviews are a bit mixed, the audience reaction has been very positive. Something that my colleague correctly points out, to do with being of a certain age and having grown up with the original games. So yes, the reviews currently are a little bit mixed, but from what I see, it's not mixed from people that truly were interested in Sonic. The mixed reviews are coming in with reviewers that do not really care about Sonic. If you don't care about Sonic, you don't care about the games, you don't care about the character, you probably aren't going to think that this movie is great. You're probably going to think it's just another mediocre movie that you bring your kids to. This is not a film that is appealing to those general audiences, but it's paying off. It's not like they toned down the movie to make it good for normal moviegoers like they did with Star Wars, like they're doing with Star Trek. That is very, very important to note. The main point here, though, is the fact that Paramount changed the character design of Sonic after the initial version horrified gamers all over the world. In doing so, they listened to their audience and had the character brought more in line with the original games, to the extent that it delayed the release of the film. It did delay the release by 4 or 5 months. Much like how the Marvel movies are very much done from an informed standpoint in relation to the original comics, maybe it's time Hollywood learned that the same also applies for games. Understanding the history of gaming and actually having hands-on experience of how games play is incredibly valuable if you want to adapt them into the movies. Now, the whole point of this article is the fact that they are actually saying if you're going to create a movie about a game, then you need to listen to the audience that wants it. And that's what I've said time and time again. I mean, we have games and game companies changing their games, censoring their games, making things specifically different for specific groups of people and different audiences that don't actually care about the product. A lot of the games that are changed because of outrage online, most of the people that were outraged aren't true fans of the content and aren't actually going to buy it. And that's the case with a lot of movies. If you want to appeal to normal moviegoers, that's okay, but don't expect a lot of the big fans to want to watch it. I mean, we look at Star Wars. They toned it down, they dulled it down, and they made it appealing to normal moviegoers. And a lot of fans of the franchise don't like that because they were missing a lot of elements that only fans would know. They want to make everything a standalone. You know, we look at the movies and it has to tell a story in itself, even if it's a trilogy, for those normal moviegoers. And they did not do that with Sonic. They really went all in. They made it, dedicated to fans, and it really did pay off. So I think that is great for, the people that wanted to see it, obviously. They actually listened to the people that wanted to see these movies. Oh my gosh, how preposterous. Also, hello, that Star Wars girl. Welcome to the live stream. Hello, daughter. Hello, mom. Love you, mom. Snap Anna's here. Yeah, she actually retweeted one of my videos yesterday, and people were like, "Oh my gosh," because she had said like me, her, and Mecha Random all look generally similar, and now I'm her theoretical daughter. It's great, but basically the point that I wanted to talk about when it came to Sonic is just the fact that appealing to your fans isn't bad, and that's the point, because we see so many movie creators going, well, we can't appeal to fans are toxic, and fans, you don't sell movies to fans. Hint hint, obviously you do. It's very important to make things for the people that actually care about them. Don't make movies and games and all of these things for the people that aren't actually going to purchase them, or they're going to fail. So that's all I wanted to talk about with Sonic. Overall, I have seen Sonic, and I do think that it's pretty good. I do see how if you're not a fan of Sonic in the movie, or you're not a fan of the games and the characters, you're probably going to think that the movie's okay. It does have a couple of moments that are pretty cheesy. It's okay though. Overall, it was a fun movie to see, and I would see it again. If I had to give it a rating, because I did see someone ask that, I would maybe say like a 7 out of 10. I think that if they didn't have Sonic looking the way that he does and they hadn't changed him, I do think that it would have been a lot worse. Because obviously the main character in the movie is Sonic, so duh. They didn't want the brand to hurt even more. Yeah, not a fan of Sonic. I feel sad for you. I like Sonic. I'm a fan. I like video game movies, though. I obviously, spoiler alert, really like games. So, there is that. Let me check chat. Dang, Vara, you're becoming a star. Thank you, 007. I appreciate that. 7 out of 10 isn't too bad. It wasn't the best movie I have ever seen, but it definitely isn't the worst movie. It was really enjoyable. I enjoyed it. I think that if you even remotely know about Sonic in the games, you probably like it. You'd probably think it's at least like a 6 or 7 out of 10. It definitely was an enjoyable experience. I would really like to see them make more movies like it. I thought that Detective Pikachu was also a fantastic movie too, though. I thought that it was pretty good. I did enjoy it. I will admit the CGI and the, like, how Pikachu looked and how Sonic looked, I wouldn't want to see movies like that constantly, but I do think that it breaks up the very serious movies, like most Marvel movies or most DC movies, like a Justice League or a Batman. It's just lighthearted, and that's what I like about it. That Star Wars girl sent me. Well, welcome everyone. Nothing will beat the original Mario film. Oh, that Mario TV show. I don't remember what that was called, but that was an experience. When are we getting our Temtem movie? Temtem actually had tweeted at Netflix the other day, like 2 weeks ago, and said, when are we going to get a Temtem anime on Netflix? I could actually see Netflix going for that, because it could be a competitor to Pokemon. I mean, honestly, Temtem is very similar to Pokemon, so I do think that they could maybe work with Netflix on that. That would be kind of cool. The only thing is Temtem isn't huge. It obviously had a great opening. It is from an indie studio, though. It's a brand new game. They don't have a lot of history with it, so that would be interesting to see, though. I would be slightly curious to see that. I need a Castlevania movie. Well, they have the Castlevania show, which is really good. I really like it. The third season, is it the third or fourth season? Oh my gosh, it's the third season, right? That comes out March 1st, I want to say? I think. Battletoads movie is up next. Let's do it. You know what? I could agree with that. I would be down with that. Totally. I like it. The Castlevania anime on Netflix was actually pretty good. I actually really liked it. I went into it a little bit skeptical. I thought it was going to maybe be a little bit, I wasn't expecting it to be cheesy, but I was expecting it to be, I don't know. It was good. It blew past my expectations. You know what I see with Temtem instead of competing with Pokemon? Who knows, they can become the next step for the Pokemon games. It's not going to happen. I mean, there's the Pokemon Company, and we've heard some horror stories about working, you know, around Pokemon, so I'm not going to wish that upon anyone. Someone here named Grim? Yes. One of our mods is named Grim Monolith. Alright, you guys. I think we are going to move on to the next topic, away from Sonic, and we are going to talk about Loki. There are some new rumors surrounding the Loki TV series. Now, a quick summary, if you guys do not know, Marvel is making a couple of TV series. They are making a Scarlet Witch and Vision, which is more of like a sitcom, which doesn't sound bad, honestly. They're making the Captain America, and who is it? I don't remember. They're making another series with that, and they're making the Loki series. Now, if you can't tell, I'm obviously the most excited for Loki. I love Loki. I think that Tom Hiddleston has portrayed Loki amazing. Very excited to see it, but there are some new rumors surrounding the series and what could go forward into the Disney Plus series. This is a comicbook.com article. Marvel Studios head promised that the upcoming slate of the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe series for Disney Plus, will be significant extensions of various storylines of the movies, while also helping set the stage for the large storyline of Phase 4. So that is one thing. Falcon and Winter Soldier, thank you, RK Outpost. I do very much so appreciate it. That's who it was. Couldn't remember. I was slightly close. That is one thing that a lot of people are very on the fence with when it comes to the Disney Plus series, is the fact that they do lean off of the movies, but in order to understand the new movies going forward, you are actually going to have to watch the shows. The shows are kind of going to lead up into the next movies and in the next phase, and a lot of people don't like that. They are just trying to market as Disney Plus as much as they can And I don't know how that's going to turn out for them, because while I do think that they have the best chance, or one of the best chances of doing that, I do think that that is going to make it difficult for normal moviegoers. The market that they just tried to work their way into, they always base their movies now around those normal moviegoers, so I'm not sure how that's going to play out for them. Well, those claims look more and more true with every new piece of information we get about these Disney Plus MCU shows. And now a new rumor suggests that the upcoming Loki Disney Plus series could actually set up the next big villain of the MCU. As the rumor goes, Loki runs through timelines of the MCU, will open the door to Kang the Conqueror's debut. Now, there has been a lot of rumors over the past, I want to say, like 4 years of the Conqueror going into the MCU. A lot of people actually believe that that is who they were leading up to and not Thanos. So, first of all, let's say that, the Conqueror was in the Loki Disney Plus series. I would be curious as to how they are setting the show up. Will the show be based around Loki being the villain or the Conqueror being the villain? Because if the Conqueror was to go on and be the next big villain for MCU's Phase 4, that sounds more like Loki. I'm not sure. It could go a couple of ways. It could go the way of Loki is kind of teaming up with him and they're the bad guys together, or that Loki will eventually turn on the Conqueror and become kind of the good guy again. We know how much Loki flips and flops. Loki is a character that you expect him to do one thing and he does 4 completely different things, which isn't necessarily bad. I do truly think that that gives a little bit of flavor to Loki, but obviously Loki's the trickster. That's why he's so great. Marvel scooper Daniel R.P.K. dropped the rumor that Loki will be introducing Kang, who has long been speculated by fans, industry insiders to be a big villain coming in Phase 4. Marvel Studios has never even hinted at Kang's MCU debut, let alone confirm it, but fans have been taking careful note of all of the breadcrumbs being dropped, which seem to lead that way. Just because it seems to lead that way doesn't mean that they're not going to throw a curveball. It's Marvel we're talking about. We really don't know their future plans. That could be pretty good. As soon as Avengers Endgame hit theaters and broke open the doors to an entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, theories started dropping that Endgame was setting the stage for Kang to be the next Thanos, which is true. It's been speculated for a long time, which is why I actually kind of believe this rumor. Loki's sequence in Endgame was especially curious, as his escape with the Tesseract in the alternate Battle of New York timeline meant that the Loki series would be set in an alternate version of the MCU. When the Marvel Disney Plus trailer dropped during the Super Bowl, fans instantly spotted that Loki teased the premise of the trickster, God being arrested by the Time Variance Authority, a Marvel Comics organization that, in simplest terms, makes sure that rogue variants in the Marvel multiverse, like the alternate 2012 Loki, are strategically removed. It would be great if they brought in the Time Variance Authority. Now, he obviously, during that very short Super Bowl trailer, was kind of jailed and was arrested. So there's only really so many organizations that I truly think could be brought into the MCU, but would be big enough for people to be able to kind of recognize right off the bat. I mean, obviously, we could just have, like, Thor arrest Loki, maybe throw him at some people, but that wouldn't be fun. We need some good organizations that maybe could screw with timelines more. That'd be great. The Conqueror is the figurehead of the time travel villainy in the Marvel Universe. He not only is a time-traveling warlord conqueror who has repeatedly threatened the Avengers, Earth, and time itself, he's also actually multiple different key characters in the Marvel Universe. He is the Conqueror. He was a pharaoh. As a young man, he becomes the leader of the Young Avengers, Iron Lad, the mayor of a quiet early 20th century town in Illinois, Victor Timely, and in his older, wiser years, a scholar and protector of the time stream. He is known as many different characters, which is why I think that it would be cool if he was actually brought in. I feel like a lot of people, though, don't know the Conqueror. Now, I mean, I want to raise the question of maybe to the younger audiences that were watching maybe the Marvel movies. Did they really know who Thanos was? Because unless it's a big name like an Iron Man or, a Thor, a lot of people don't know these characters because there are so many characters. That's the thing, is when you have a universe filled with hundreds and hundreds and thousands of characters, it's hard for a lot of people to kind of know them, unless they, of course, read some of the larger comic series and the more well-known comic series. The timey-wimey story of Kang has repeated crossovers with the Time Variance Authority. One big example in the Marvel lore is the End of Time itself, when the last director of the TVA creates the Timekeepers as the last beings in the final timeline. The Timekeepers in turn transform Kang into Immortus, but in doing so inspire a younger version of that same man to commit to his kaif as Kang the Conqueror. So in other words, if Loki is setting the stage for Phase 4's big storyline about the Marvel Multiverse, see also Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, there's no better time or way to introduce him and tie all the events together with one big villain. I kind of wish, now this is just my opinion, I kind of wish going into Phase 4 we didn't have just one big villain. I really honestly wish that we had like an association or like a group of people. I do personally like more of the, instead of like one big ultimate bad guy, having the multiple people. That's why I kind of like movies like Birds of Prey now. Birds of Prey was bad, but I mean in the sense of how the characters are set up. You have multiple characters doing multiple things, and I do really like that angle. So it would be cool maybe, instead of like one big bad guy that wants to snap half the universe out of existence, we had a group of people, because then we'd have to follow the multiple storylines, the multiple characters. One character's doing something and they're tricking another character and distracting them. I think that it could be strategically cool. Normies didn't know 99% of these characters before the MCU and Google. Okay. Okay, that's fair enough. I think that, though, it's true. Unfortunately, it's true. Obviously, there are people that know these characters just from, like, passing, hearing conversation. I mean, if you go to a comic book store, you might see that cool comic on the wall that's worth $800 that you're like, oh, why don't I look at that for a moment? But I do think that a lot of people didn't know about Thanos. A lot of people won't know who the Conqueror is. I mean, I remember when they released Doctor Strange and people were like, who's Doctor Strange? It's like, oh geez. Oh geez, here we go. Alright. Let me check chat for a moment. Before the internet, old guys at comic stores would give me backstories on all the characters. I worked at a comic book store for quite a few years, and I would see a lot of people, like a lot of younger people, come in just because of the movies, and even though they didn't know anything about these characters and they were like, oh, I saw him in the movie, it did reel them into the comics and go, oh, the comics are neat, maybe I want to look into comics. But unfortunately, comics that are coming out nowadays, a lot of them are iffy. See my previous video on Black Widow and how in the new comic, Avengers, what was it? I don't remember what issue of Avengers it was. She's fighting toxic masculinity in space, you guys. Fighting toxic masculinity with toxic femininity. Who doesn't love that logic? That will sell 1 million comic books easy. Are you 22, Vara? I am 21. I am 21, my friends. You're that Star Wars girl's daughter? How old is she? Or is that thing that middle school and 20-something-year-old girls do? Calling a close female friend wife or mom or daughter? I'm her daughter, legitimately. Legitimately, yeah. Oh no. 1,000%, even though that's not possible. My local comic / card shop, the guy's place is so small he has a sign not to just stand and read them. A lot of comic book stores don't want you to stand and look at comics because then you flip through them, and there are a lot of kids that will go to comic stores and just kind of casually walk around and, you know, read the comic instead of buying it. Comics. Very disappointing. It's just a very disappointing state of the comic industry. Well, most of it. It's actually a fractured trifecta, Vara and a mecha random were all once a single person until the crystal cracked. Oh, I like it. We need a comic series now. Do you think that superhero films will go out of style? I do. Maybe if you asked me a couple of years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, I probably would have said no, honestly. Because I do think that while the movies grow and they do amazing, we look at Endgame and how much freaking money that made, I think that people are going to hit a point where they're worn out. It's not that the movies are not good. It's not that they're, you know, bad. Of course, you're going to have some of the bad ones. But when you have Marvel's movies to keep up with, Marvel's TV shows to keep up with, DC's movies to keep up with, the CW shows to keep up with, the rogue shows like Gotham that you have to keep up with, you have so many of these shows and movies coming out, I think that people are going to be worn out. And I actually think that while, yes, Disney Plus is a great idea, and creating these exclusive shows are great because you can hear more about the singular characters, I think that that is going to be the boiling point, and that is what is going to wear people out, actually. Obviously, if you really like Marvel, you only watch Marvel. You only watch, you know, the shows, or you only watch the movies. That's great. But for me, and I'm sure a lot of you guys here, you want to watch all of them. Obviously, some of them are total trash, but I really like Marvel. I love DC. Some of the characters, and I want to watch everything that's on the market. And with how many CW shows are there, I know that they just ended Arrow, but they're adding in a Green Lantern show now, so you've got like the 5 shows over there, the 3 to 4 Disney Plus series. I mean, it's a lot. It is a lot. It is a lot. I do not have, super chat set up. If you guys want to donate, I do have a Streamlabs link, which will pop up with a notification if it's $3 or more. And there's also text-to-speech. I do have that set up. And I do also have Patreon, in case anyone wants to become a Dark Titan for just $1 a month. Self-shilling. Who doesn't love it? But yeah, I do not have any of my videos or my live streams monetized currently. Comic book movies have another 10 years before people get sick of it. Old Western films had a long run in old school Hollywood. Comic movies may have just as long of a run. 10 years. I don't think it's going to be quite 10 years. I think that the comic and the superhero villain movies maybe have 5 to 7 more years. And I'm basing that on, of course, like I said, all of the media that surrounds the shows and the movies, how many shows and movies there are, but also because a lot of the movies lately are increasingly becoming filled with politics and real-world narratives, like Birds of Prey. If you haven't seen my Birds of Prey review, you probably want to watch it. It's awful. It's one of the worst movies. And I truly believe that, like, Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern is better. Justice League, in my opinion, hot take, I think that Justice League was like a 6 or 7 out of 10. It honestly wasn't awful. In my opinion. Please don't dislike Bomb the Stream. I think that it was like a 6 out of 10. I mean, looking at all of the, like, the comic movies, oh my gosh, I think that with the way that movies are going now, and we see the movies like Birds of Prey and how people don't like them, I say 5 to 7 years. I don't know if I'd give it quite 10 years, though I would like to see it around. I would like to see these movies for 10 more years to have a great run. It's not that I don't want these movies to succeed, because I do want these movies to succeed. Like the games that I talk about and the censorship that I talk about, I want them to succeed. But do they deserve to succeed when it's this kind of narrative being placed in it? So that's all that I wanted to talk about with Loki. We will move on to some censorship in just a minute. Though, I will check chat first. Birds of Prey was weak. My problem with Birds of Prey is all men are bad. Screw the men. Women rule. I don't need an ultra-violent psychopath like Harley Quinn to empower me and to make me feel like a woman. I roasted what the characters wear, but the characters look like trash. They look like they're wearing clothes from Dollar Tree. It looks awful. That's not empowering. That's not sexy. That doesn't make me as a woman go, yeah, woman power, feminism. They look bad. They look bad. Screw the men. Now that's another movie entirely, Miss Dark. Screw the men. White cis men. We're coming for you. All of us women. We're coming for you, apparently. It's, it is what it is. Not everyone wants to hear that in their movies constantly. Some people do, I guess. If you like that, then that's great. Go watch it. You'll probably love it. I personally am not much of a fan. Not much of a fan. I have a secret to tell you guys. I like men. Men are cool. Whew, they're cool. I'll support you guys. My question is, why are people comparing Birds of Prey to Sonic and Detective Pikachu? Because a lot of the journalists online are very angry that a movie that empowers women made less money than Sonic and Detective Pikachu. They're angry. So they're comparing them. It is what it is. Oh, why? Thank you, Vara. Manpower. When are we gonna get a movie? Oh, jeez. That's never gonna happen. I was going to say, when are we gonna get a movie about male empowerment? But then I realized, never. I can answer that movie. I think that Wonder Woman was a great movie, and I think that Gal Gadot is an amazing role model for a lot of kids. And I think that Wonder Woman is empowering to females and should be what the type of woman that young females look up to. Because she is woman power, but she's Wonder Woman. She doesn't say screw the men. You have a romance storyline in her movie. Vara After Dark finally added EOSE. Oh, end of stream ecchi. We don't do that yet. Not yet. Soon. Let's get to 20,000. 20,000, we'll talk about it. Gal can empower me anytime. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. I mean, her in a red dress? Let's do it. Whoa, that was out of context. I feel empowered in every movie. Oh, man. Men. Men. Can't talk about them, even though they're important to civilization. Alright guys, we are going to move on to the next topic, which is Funimation. Now, over the past couple of weeks, I have been really going hard at Funimation. Funimation has removed series off of their streaming service because it made people angry. They have censored quite a few different series now, and now we are seeing them censor yet another series, Funimation edits joke to remove light sexual humor, and I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense. That's a long name for a series. In their continuing tradition of altering... Oh, by the way, this is a Bounding Into Comics article. In their continuing tradition of altering the scripts of original anime productions during the dubbing process, Funimation has changed a line in their dub of Bo Fury. Furry? Not sure how to say that. We'll call it BF, because I'm not sure how to say it. I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense to remove a grade school level sexual joke. I've actually never seen this. I've heard of it, but I've actually never seen all of it. The show follows a character, a brand new player in the fictional VR MMORPG New World Online, in her adventures in a game avatar Maple, in which she has focused every single available skill point solely into defense. Sounds like me. I would just like defense, 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 defense. Works for me. In episode 2, Defense and Friends, Maple enters and takes 3rd place in a Battle Royale style event. In a post-game interview conducted by the game's mascot, a nervous Maple feels embarrassed after tripping over her words. Now, side note, I actually really like the shows that are kind of about like players and MMOs and VRs. I really do like the series that follow those type of storylines. I'm down with them. I'm cool with them. So I know that a lot of people aren't, though, which is fine. In the original Japanese version of the interview, Maple makes an accidental, an accidental double entendre by stating that she took a pounding in the arena before becoming embarrassed at her word choice. That's me. I'm embarrassed. I trip over all of my words. In the English dub, she instead mixes up the words hoppy and happy. What? As seen in the clips provided by a Twitter user. Is Funimation's new standard no fun or no jokes allowed? Because they took a joke and then dubbed this scene into it, not as a joke. It was really dumb. So this is the script and these are the lines in the show. Why don't we compare them and just cringe a little bit? Original Japanese. Let's kick off our interviews with our 3rd place winner, Maple. Anything to say about the event? I took a pounding, but I liked it. Did she just trip over her tongue? She sure did. And here's Funimation's English dub. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to love it. We have to love it. Let's kick off the interviews with our 3rd place winner, shall we? Here's Maple. What are your thoughts about the event? Well, it was tough, but I'm happy. That makes me cringe, visibly, so much more than the I took a pounding, but I liked it. Why would they do that? This is literally a joke that like a 13-year-old would make. This joke is such light sexual humor. It's barely even sexual humor. Like, if you didn't understand sexual humor, or, like, you didn't get it, you wouldn't even see this as sexual humor. I think that this is hilarious. Why would they change this? This is triggering to people? What is hoppy? She meant to say happy, but she stumbled over her words. I stumble over my words a lot, and I don't think that I would, like, say, it's tough, but I'm hoppy. What is that? It doesn't even make sense. Are they censoring jokes now? Like, you guys can't joke, or we are gonna censor you guys. It's dumb. It's dumb. Why is Funimation doing this? I understand that they have people complaining to them all the time, but they really need to stop giving in to idiots. While both sets of dialogue and performances convey the same emotions, no it doesn't. This completely changes the character. So let's say this character let's say that Maple made, you know, kind of jokes like this often, like, oh, I took a pounding, but I liked it. If they change all of those dialogue lines and they change all of those options, then she's really not the same character. Because she just says those jokes. They're part of her personality. They're changing her personality. Therefore, she's not really the same character anymore. That's why it bothers me. Yes, okay, let's say that they change just the line. It changes the character, too, and the way that the character acts. Honestly, it does say, to end it off, Funimation has not publicly given an explanation for the edit. I truly want them to make a statement on it just so I can laugh. Because Funimation's responses are as bad as Atlas's. Their responses are awful and shallow. Funimation, over the past few weeks, has been really ticking down, in my opinion. Now, I will say it like I do every time I discuss Funimation. Funimation does offer a lot of content to people that like dubs. Their service, their streaming service, does have a lot of good content on it that you can't get anywhere else if you are someone that wants a dub. But when they act this way, and they've done it over and over the past, like, 2 months, 3 months, they have truly gone at it with the censorship. The censorship ban hammer is truly out. It makes me as a consumer want to take my credit card information away. And while I don't support them right now, I have supported them in the past. And I wish that they just stop doing this stuff. I wish that companies would truly just stop listening to outrage online, and just create the content that they want and just publish it. Because you are going to have people that are going to support you. People like me, a lot of you in stream. Put an X in chat if you would watch the version of this that is not censored, but you won't watch the version that is censored. Small lines matter to people. And even though it's small, in my mind, I still see censorship. If I turned this on, I would go, that's right, this is censored. You know what? Maybe I don't want to watch this because it makes you double think. That's all that we know at this point, is that Funimation has edited one joke currently that is very light sexual humor. It's barely even sexual humor, honestly. It's very light. And they haven't made a statement. If they do make a statement, I will address it, of course, in a video. I probably would make a video on this, or I will discuss it in another discussion stream. But that's all I really had to talk about with that topic. Funimation is just being awful lately, and I don't want to support a company that has been acting the way that they have. Also, thank you for all the X's in chat, you guys. I appreciate it. Uncensored is always better. I don't support censored products. There are very, very few times where I will support a censored product. Why are all of their X's? Just put an X in chat, guys. Put an X in chat. Just do it. Can you imagine what Funimation would do if they got their hands on porn? It wouldn't be porn. It wouldn't be porn. Simple as that. Bring back interspecies reviewers. Yeah, the interspecies reviewer situation has gotten a little bit worse. There are a lot of TV networks that have kind of removed it and have not aired it. Unfortunately, that situation has not gotten any better. I do truly hope that it does get better here soon, though. I don't want these products to be censored. I don't want these developers and these people creating these projects to have to look at their work and feel ashamed of it. Because if you're creating maybe something that's more adult-oriented, you shouldn't feel ashamed for it. No one should be censoring you and the content that you want to create. You should be able to create it. And if no one wants to buy it, then no one wants to buy it. But it should be on the market for people that want to watch it and experience it. You can't take away adult content from adults. It doesn't work. Honk honk. All right, we are going to move to the final topic of the night, which is also about censorship, unfortunately. We are going to discuss Snack World. Snack World English release is censored, and it also contains Trump references. Now, if you are new here and you do not know my stances on Politics. I do not like when real world politics are shoved into entertainment. Whether that is a movie, a TV show, a game, I do not like that. I think that it's okay to have a world that is, based around politics and political themes as long as it pertains to the world in which the characters in the setting are in. Oh my gosh, that just
Here's some dough. Thanks for the show.
out. Thank you so much for the $10 donation. I very much so appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. You are currently the top donator and the top dominator of the live stream. A game called Snack World. Yeah, a game called Snack World, and hint, it's got no snacks. This is a One Angry Gamer article. Level 5 Snack World, the Dungeon Crawl, recently launched on the Nintendo Switch after initially releasing in Japan back in 2018. There were reports that the game had been censored, but since they arrived ahead of the release, most people didn't take heed. Well, now that the game is out and people have had a chance to play it, they not only have spotted the differences in censorship, but also some unfunny jabs at President Donald Trump. Of course, you just can't not do it. Of course. If you have a platform, that's what people do. It started with a tweet from Punish Black Pill Lumpy, who made a post on February 15th decrying the localization team, adding in references to Trump. One was the comment about a border wall, and the other was a shop. To whoever decided to toss the Trump Twitter references in the new English release of a level 5 game, I'm coming for you. It says, he could be riddled with disease for all we know. Leave well alone, I say. I knew I should have built a wall along our borders. Whenever you hear that, we all know that it's a smack at Trump and the things that he said and the things that he wants to do. Now, if we go to the game, there are a couple of references to I should have built a wall along our borders. There are quite a few. I do just want to say that. There are only like 2 screenshots here, but there are a few. Now, going into the game itself and some of the characters and how the characters looked, yes. Yes, there are outfits and characters altered, unfortunately. Why? But to add insult to injury, the localization team also censored the game. Also, yes, the top donator is the top dominator. Yes. The princess had her outfit altered, as you guys can see on screen. Her bra and skirt combo were altered to a fully covered halter top that covers her midriff and pants that cover her thighs. Now, I still do think that her new outfit looks good. Obviously, it doesn't look that much different. Yes, her thighs are covered and her stomach and abdomen area is covered. It doesn't change the way that the character looks. Now, sometimes you see censorship and literally the character looks completely different. But in cases like this, I'm not supporting the censorship. I'm not saying that it's okay, but it definitely could have been worse. Definitely. That's kind of like the Tifa situation. I don't think that Tifa looks bad. They added like the knee-high socks to her. She doesn't look that bad. She still looks like Tifa, and that's what matters to me. If you're going to change something, that the character still has the essence of what the character originally looked like. So she doesn't look bad, but I'm still not supporting the censorship. In a video by Censored Gaming, they explained that the reason for the princess censorship was likely to do with the multimedia crossover of Snack World with the animated show airing on Cartoon Network. So basically what they're saying is they're probably censoring the show, they're probably censoring the game, due to the show. They want that lower rating, and of course, if you're going to make a TV show about something and you have a game, the audience that you're marketing the show to is also the market that you want to be able to sell the game to. So while it does make sense, it's still not okay in my opinion. Also, the characters look kind of bad. According to the video, the same censorship changes that were made for the English release of the game were also made for the English airings of the CG animated show. I mean, she still looks like the same character. just a little bit disappointing. Now this one's kind of funny. Both the game and the show not only censored the princess, putting her in a mostly full body attire, but they also changed the 3 purple genies, taking them out of their S&M gear and putting them in black sleeveless shirts and matching black pants. Yes, okay, their outfits before the Japanese version was a little bit more revealing. It was obviously a little bit more of a statement. But all it is toning characters down. Why? It's really not even that big of a difference. It's really not even that big of a difference. According to Censored Gaming, the reason for the changes in the cartoon for the English version was because it aired during the day on the Cartoon Network, and so to secure a low rating, they censored the outfits, and because they were censored in the show, they decided to maintain that consistency by censoring the game. We hear so often of games and shows having these base characters, but them toning them down and censoring them because they want a lower rating. Now, yes, a lot of the times game companies and developers really do want the lowest rating they can get for a game in a series. Obviously, they want to be able to market it to as many people as they can, but this is just disappointing to hear, in my opinion. I talk about censorship a lot. I do not believe in censorship. I think that this is stupid. You should have just left the outfits the way that they were. I don't think that putting clothing on her, abdomen area and putting pants on her, or bringing like the black socks all the way up on her thighs, I don't think that's going to get you a lower rating, and you're not going to be able to maintain a lower rating with that. Personally, I think that what is even worse, though, are kind of the real-world politic messages and, like, the Trump references. I don't like seeing that in my games, and I will not be supporting this game. But that's all that I really had to talk about with that topic. That is all that I had to discuss for tonight's discussion stream. I will go into the Q&A now in chat. I will be mainly focused on chat, reading and talking with you guys. So if you were here for the articles, thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it. But now we will do the Q&A. If you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to ask them. What is this, the 1940s? It always is. That sounds absurd. I can imagine almost any lawyer thrashing that whole concept off with a laugh. What game is being discussed? This was Snack World. Snack World, the Dungeon Crawl. It just came out for the Nintendo Switch. It is a game back from 2018 that was in Japan. But while they are bringing it over to the West, of course, the Japanese version that is being brought to the West was censored and changed. Unfortunately. A game that you're marketing to adults, why do you have to censor it? Why? Why? I don't get it. I will not support this game now. This was a game that I was watching, but I'm not gonna, buy a $60 censored game. No, thank you. I won't. What game are you streaming next? I'm not actually sure what game I will be live streaming and playing next. I've gotten a couple of requests for Wolfson. It is a new game, but I'm not sure if I'm going to play that, just because it is a $40 game. But it's got a lot of bugs and glitches. I was fairly interested in it, though. It is an ARPG. But I'm not sure what game I will be playing next. Obviously, I do want to finish Super Metroid. That will probably be one of my next game streams, because I do want to finish it. But I'm not sure. I might play a little bit more Temtem. I do also have that review coming soon. I was going to do it last week, didn't get a chance to. That will be coming within the next couple of days. But if you guys have any game suggestions, please let me know for a new game to live stream. I'm not sure, though. What is the rating for Snack World? I'm actually not sure. I think that it does have a lower rating now. I think that it has, a T for teen? Yes, T for teen. $50. No thanks. You know what? No thanks. It sounds cool, but I'm not gonna buy a, game with that. And it's so bad. Okay, so the T for teen rating is fantasy violence, mild language, and suggestive themes. Why can't you show a girl's stomach and a girl's thighs? Is skin really that frowned upon now? Really? because I don't agree with that. I think that it's fine. I think that it's perfectly fine. I don't see a problem with it. But that's just me. Do stream some PS1 games? I could. Classic Tomb Raider. Ooh, Tomb Raider's really good. Next, retro stream. Yeah, I do want to be doing more retro streams. I do want to make that a normal occurrence on the channel, but I do also want to play newer games, because I like to review the games, and maybe if I can save you guys some money, that would be good. Wilson is pretty good. To be fair, it will help pass the time until Path of Exile next season. I have not purchased it. I was considering purchasing it, though I'm not sure if I will right now. If any of you guys want to donate towards it, that's cool. It would go to the game if you want to donate the $40 for the game. Side note, self-shill. Why not? I would live stream it and make a video on it, but Donkey Kong Country 2 would be fun to see you play. A lot of people have actually suggested Donkey Kong Country 2. That would be a good one. That is on my list now. After so many people have asked, it's on my list, definitely. The typo was better. What? Who did a typo? Showing skin is worse than shooting people. Apparently now it is, which is unfortunate. I'm a woman and I really don't mind seeing scantily clad women. It doesn't trigger or bother me, and I really don't think that it should trigger or bother anyone else, in my opinion. I think that it should be okay. It's just skin. And I know that people are like, oh, it's more than that. It's about, females feeling strong and empowered, but I think that a woman showing skin isn't bad, and I think it's okay. I don't mind it. My computer can run Crisis, so just so we can get that out of the way. She's showing thigh. How scandalous. It is pretty damn scandalous. Yes, Snatcher is the Kojima game. That is, what year is Snatcher from? We discussed this in one of my last retro streams, I think. 88. Yes, 88. I've had a lot of people actually ask me about this game too. We talked about it a couple of live streams ago. I could consider it if that is something you guys would legitimately love to see. I would totally be down for that. It triggers something in me. Oh. Jeez. Inappropriate, censored, banned. Yeah. You need to suggest PC games because Vara's more likely to stream it. I mean, if it's an older game, I can stream anything. I mean, some people really hate bodies because deep down they hate their own. Oh. Yeah. It can run Crisis. It can run Crisis. Thank you, Vara. How about Doom Eternal? When Doom Eternal launches, I do plan to live stream it. I know that a lot of people are very excited about Doom Eternal, and I myself am excited for Doom Eternal. It is a game that I would purchase to play off stream, so I am very excited to be able to live stream it and play it with you guys. What is it's March, but what is the exact date? 20th, that's right, March 20th, 2020. So on March 20th, I will be here. What day is March 20th? Wait, what day is March 20th? It's a Friday, perfect. On March 20th, 2020, this year, I will be here playing Doom Eternal. I have not bought it yet, I have not pre-ordered it yet, but I probably should get on that, actually. I love how it says what people also ask, when did Doom Eternal come out? In the future? I hope that's a good answer. In the future. You're a genius? Who's a genius? If you had to pick one video game to play for the rest of your life, what would it be? Oh, shit. Can I pick 3? Because if I can pick 3, 2 out of the 3 would be Star Wars games. One would be the MMO, Star Wars The Old Republic. The MMO is One of the best MMOs I've played. Freaking 10 out of 10. Actually, it's 9 out of 10. It's got some problems. The MMO, KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic 1. Can I pick series? So, Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2. If we're picking series, KOTOR, because technically Star Wars The Old Republic, the MMO, is part of that universe, and it is technically, it's kind of like a KOTOR 3, so KOTOR. I'd pick KOTOR games. Cheating. But otherwise, I'd probably pick, I don't know. Doom? The Doom series? That covers it. The Doom series, the KOTOR series. Wow, I really changed the question. It went from 1 game to 3 game series. This is cheating. And Call of Duty. Mario. Anything Mario. I wanted to say Call of Duty because I really wanted an FPS because I really love FPSs, but you have to work with what you can work with. Also, just to say it, if you do enjoy the content that I create, you can become a Dark Titan for just $1 a month via Patreon. I do very much so appreciate your support, you guys. I'll link that in chat for you guys once. I've mentioned it once tonight. Fallout New Vegas. Ooh, Fallout New Vegas is amazing. It is really, really good. Really good. I've actually never played Doom. What? You've never played Doom? You should get on that. Doom, anything Doom is amazing. Anything Doom. Just do it. Just do it. Best suggestion I can give. Alternate universe Chrono Trigger sequel. Chrono Trigger's good. I said 1 game, damn it. Yeah, that question went from like 1 game to like 3 game series, which entails like 60 games between all of the series. If I could pick 1 series, that would be KOTOR. If I could pick 1 game, it'd probably be Knights of the Old Republic, because you can do like you can be a Jedi, you can be a slinger, you can be so much. Whatever your heart desires. Skyrim, ESO, and the Fallout series. I wouldn't pick Skyrim, honestly. Skyrim's good, but I really wouldn't pick it. I mean, if we're talking about base games without mods, it's pretty mediocre. Hot take, Skyrim without mods is mediocre. Suddenly, everyone starts disliking the stream. Duke Nukem, amazing. Would pick it. You gotta play Doom. Is a blast. Doom is amazing. If I could pick maybe 1 game, KOTOR's good, but Witcher 3 is a masterpiece. It's amazing. You guys should all pick Witcher 3. It's great. The Witcher series would also be a high contender for series. For sure. Alright, you guys. I think that I am going to end the live stream in a minute. How would you feel if Bethesda made a Fallout 5? They need to stop. It's dead. I really hate to say that because Fallout 4, like, all the Fallout games are good, but Fallout 76 just ruined it for me. Final Fantasy XIV is mine. It's a great game. Alright, you guys, I think that I am going to end the live stream here. Thank you guys so much for stopping by tonight. I do very much so appreciate it. If you are new, I do the discussion streams once a week. I usually do them on Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern or Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. If I live stream, it's at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you guys enjoy the content, please make sure to give the live stream a like. And of course, if you did not like it, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way. Please make sure to join the Discord. I will link it in chat for you guys. We are very active there. We do chat there fairly often. I let you guys know content, when I'm going to live stream again, the next game that I'm playing, things like that. If you enjoy the content, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon. You can become a Dark Titan for just $1 a month. Make sure to follow me on social media. It will be linked in the description. But thank you guys so much for stopping by tonight, and have a fantastic night, everyone.